to have in our Ladies and gentlemen, we are honored to have in our midst a trust advisor, business strategist, a financial analyst, an accountant, and a wealth manager. He's an alumni of the prestigious University of Benin. He has worked as a journalist, accountant, head of research and strategy, research analyst for the First Bank of Nigeria, and is presently the head of private trust at the First Bank of Nigeria West Trustees Limited. He is also actively involved in sharing knowledge on the subject of estate planning on Classic FM 93.3. Ladies and gentlemen, with a clapping ovation, join me as I make welcome Mr. Rotimi Obende.
Good afternoon, brothers and sisters, daddies and mommies. I'm tempted to say ladies and gentlemen, which is what we would normally say, Abi. But because we're inside church, let me just say brothers and sisters. First, I would like to thank you for this wonderful privilege to speak to us I've been asked to talk to us on investment and personal finances. And I see that the time has started counting. Is it counting 20 minutes? Okay, so it's counting 20 minutes. Okay, so I have 20 minutes. I'm assuming I have 20 minutes to talk to you. I have 20 minutes to talk to you. Okay. I will try and maximize the time that I have as much as possible. And I'll just talk to us on some things that I know I used. Okay. Something that I know I have used over the past years. Okay. Thank you. I've used over the past years, over a long period of time since I started working and got in contact with finances, and particularly personal finances. I have a bit of a bias towards personal finance, and so permits me, if I do not talk like a Christian this afternoon, I am a Christian. But as much as possible, I will try not to talk like a Christian this afternoon. I hope I am permitted, sir. It doesn't change the fact that you will see some Bible quotations in my presentation, and I do hope it will be shared with us later. So some people did some studies, and they said that 90% of all crimes that you find in the society are committed because of money. 90% of all crimes. So you wake up in the morning, those of us that have smartphones, you pick your smartphones, the first thing that you will most likely see is somebody that has done yahoo, or somebody that has decided to cut his girlfriends into bits and pieces. Somebody that has harvested either their father or their mother, or somebody that has just decided to use his friend for money ritual. 90% of all crimes, irrespective of the name that you want to give to it, are committed because of money. 89% of all divorce-related cases are as a result of money. So if you wake up one morning and you see man and woman say that they are no longer they want to separate, they are no longer going to get married again, 89% of those problems are as a result of money. Okay, because I'm not a marriage counselor, I can't tell you that it's because of love. But they've done studies and realized that it is not love. 89% of all the reasons that women will give or men will give is as a result of the fact that there's no money. 80% of families, so if we take a study of those of us seated in this room, what you will most likely find is that 80% of us live from month to month, what people call mouth to mouth or hand to hand, on a monthly basis. So if you do not get the next month's pay, you are likely not going to survive. 80% of us in this room. For some of us in this room, it might take us another 3 months before we start to see the effect. For some of us, 6 months. But 80% of us seated in this room might likely not be able to survive the next month without collecting a salary. I am not the one that said it. People did a survey, and I'm just telling you what they said that they found. It's also possible that 93% of everybody that works, whether you are in Nigeria or outside Nigeria, 93% of us are not prepared for retirement. 93% of us are not prepared for retirement. So you get to age 60, and you know the truth, irrespective of whatever it is that you have earned, there's every likelihood that you have spent everything or almost spent everything. And that's why you see those days, and I think it still happens, people will tell you that they retired and they will be complaining that government is no longer paying them their pension. I used to remember railway workers then. Some of them will travel all the way from Maduguri and come to Lagos because they want to come and collect pension. Some of them will queue. Unfortunately, some of them will slump and they will die. Why? Because of the fact that irrespective of the amount that they earned during their working life, they were not able to save for retirement. 90% of us, irrespective of whatever it is that we earn over our working lives, because we do not have personal financial discipline, we were not able to live a life after retirement. Truth is that most people, whether Nigeria or outside Nigeria, will not have enough money for retirement. Most people will not. Some of us have very bad understanding and very bad concepts about money. Some of us think that it's village people that is not allowing us to make money. And so when you come for a VG, for example, you are praying against your family members, first your family members before your village members, and saying that, God, kill all of them. Why? Because they have not allowed you to make money. Hopefully, by the end of this afternoon, I hope you will realize that it's not your villagers that has caused most of the problem. Most of us also believe that Tinubu is responsible for our financial misfortune. Unfortunately, before Tinubu came, Buhari was there. It was the same thing. Unfortunately, before Buhari came, Jonathan was there. It was the same thing. You know the truth. When they gave birth to me, there were money problems. Ask yourself, how many cars did your father or great-grandfather buy during his lifetime? Why were they not able to build all the houses in Lagos during their lifetime? Because there was no money. So all this quarrel about Tinubu or no Tinubu, Jonathan or no Jonathan, it has been there for long. Do I think it will end in the next 5 years? No. Even if we pray and get the best sets of leaders to rule us, will it solve all of our problems? No. And many of us know that this Canada that we are running to, there are poor people in Canada. I hope you know. I hope you also know that there are poor people in the US and there are poor people in the UK. But we are still jackparing. Is it stopping us from jackparing? No. I know the unfortunate thing for those of us that are adults and have children, when they ask you, why are you jackparing? You say it's because of my children. I'm going abroad because of my children. It's a lie. You are going abroad because of yourself. So many of us have money defeating ideas and thinking. Some of us also have low esteem. So for some of us, we can't go to our old student associations. You graduated some years ago, they said they are doing old student fellowship. They say, oh, you are come. You say you are not going. You know why you are not going? Because of money. You will go there, you will see your classmate probably come with Mercedes-Benz S-Class. And maybe you enter Keke Mawa, you stop at the junction, and you stroll there. It's just as a result of money. Don't tell them that it's because you don't have time, you are very busy. You are not very busy. Issues around money. So these are some of the reasons why I think, and people have also confirmed it, why people fail because of money. Some of us have incorrect beliefs about money. Some of us procrastinate. And many of us work here. You are into either a paid employment or you have your own business. Don't be afraid now. I'm not going to ask you for money, don't worry. How many of you told yourself that by the time you start working, there's nothing that will not be impossible for you to do? You look at your parents, they tell you that it's only eba that we are eating after. They say only eba, common eba. At times, maybe it's only one meat that is there. You see, just wait when I start working. You will see how many meat I will be putting. How many meats do you eat now that you have started working? Some of us procrastinate. You tell yourself that once I start working like this, I will be saving all my money. They will give you your money now at the end of the month. Your dad will ask you, have you received salary? You will say, they never pay also. Meanwhile, they paid you like 2 weeks ago. You tell them that, for the last 3 months, they have not paid us. Some of us also fail to establish financial goals. So I ask you, for example, in the next 5 years, where do you want to be financially? In the next 5 years, where do you want to be financially? How much do you want to be worth? When you will do your net worth, how much is it going to be? In the next 5 years, just sit down and ask yourself, next 5 years, how much do I think I'm going to be worth? 1 billion, 2 billion, 3 billion. Many of us fail to make money a priority. I know we are all very spiritual. I know for sure we are all very spiritual. But the truth is that in our spirituality, because many times that some of us don't come to church, is because of money. I used to know when I was growing up those days, when they asked some of us that, why did you not come for fellowship? It's just because people already know the shirt and the trouser that you wear to fellowship. And you're afraid that because they already know. When we were in school, some people used to, the shirt they wear and sleep, they will wash it to wear it again the next day. But at the same time, when we talk about, let's discuss money, they will say, no, money is not something that we should be talking about. It is God that will give us money. We fail to make money priority because we are spiritual human beings. Some of us never learn about investments. Some of us don't know anything at all about investments. So I'd like you to look at this thing and tell me what you think is right or wrong. For those of us at the back, I'll just try and read it. You tell me whether it is right or it is wrong. Everything in my life will be wonderful if I have enough money. If you believe that statement, can I just see your hand up? Everything in my life will be wonderful if I have enough money. Don't be spiritual, don't pretend. Abi, everything in your life will be wonderful if you have enough money. Abi, correct. My financial freedom is dependent on how much money that I have. My financial freedom is dependent on how much money that I have. If I have 1 billion naira now, I am free financially. If you believe that, let me just see your hand up. You don't believe that? Okay. Oh. How many of us know about budgets? Budgeting. How many of us have budgets? How many of us have budgets? How many of us know how much we make every month and how much we spend every month? How many of us write them down? How many of us calculate them? Okay, have you realized that if you have a budget that you write down everything, it kind of keeps you in check or prevents you from spending money that you ordinarily want to spend because you have a budget, Abi? Some of us, the next one I'll read is, many money-making opportunities are gone. There are no longer any money-making opportunities. True or false? False. Okay. Everything, or rather everyone, whether it's government or my parents or those people that have given me job, are responsible for my financial freedom. True or false? Who is responsible for your financial freedom? Okay, yourself. That's good. I need to accumulate a large amount of money before I can start saving. True or false? False. How many of us save? How many of us don't save? Nobody. I like that too. You don't save. Why don't you save? Your money is not enough. Abi? By the time you remove by the time you first remove tithe, if you pay tithe, you first remove tithe, Abi. You now remove your transport fare. You remove your feeding. There's no money anymore, Abi. So you wait till the next month again till they pay you salary. How many of us actually and deliberately save? What is the percentage of your salary that you save every month? 10%? Don't worry, they will not collect your money. 20%? 30%? 40%? 50%? 60%? 70%? If you save all your salary, can I just see your hand up? If I have a good job, I'll be very wealthy. If I have a good job, I'll be wealthy. How many of you believe that? You don't believe it. But I used to think that some of us want to work in Shell or MTN or First Bank. Why do you want to work there? Because they pay more now, Abi? So if you have more money, or if you have a good job, you will be wealthy. Is that not so? Expenses will meet up with your demand. Okay. I can only start my planning for retirement when I become old. I can only start planning for my retirement when I become old. Abi? When should you start planning for your retirement? You are the one that said so. I'm not the one that said so. So just ask yourself, these are age brackets. So you're 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 or 60 or 70. There are some things that are of priority to you within this age. There are some things that are of priority. Some of us, we say that by the time I'm 20 to about 30, that's when I'll start planning. Some of us actually think it's between when we are 30 and 50. But do you know that if it takes you to start saving when you are 35, you need to save 3 times more than the person that starts saving at 20 if you earn and save the same amount of money. I'll explain. Assuming you are 35 and you save 5,000 naira every month, in a year you would have saved how much? 60,000 naira. In 10 years you would have saved how much? 600,000 naira. So from 35 to 45, assuming you save 5,000 naira every month, in 10 years you have saved how much? 600,000 naira. If you are 20 and you then save save 5,000 every month, and you then become 45, how much would you have saved? That's 20 years, Abi. 20 times 60, 1.2 million. So the earlier you start to save, the more you will become financially independent of any other person or anybody around you. But if you delay, if you wait till you get older, till you get to 35 or till you get to 40, you then realize that you then need to save 3 times more than the person that started saving at 20 to be able to catch up. Because the truth is, by the time you get married, maybe you get married at 30 or you get married at 40, your lifestyle changes. You don't have to take care of yourself and your wife. You don't also have to take care of the children that you have been praying to God for. So if you then get married at 40 and that's the time you want to start saving, you then need to start to save 10 times more than the person that started saving when he or she was 20. So it is important that you understand that your personal financial freedom is only dependent on you and nobody else. And the truth is that nobody else will save you from all the financial troubles that you see in today's world. So, how much do I need on a daily or monthly or weekly basis for food, for housing, for clothing, if you pay tax, if you have insurance, or if you have healthcare needs? So ask yourself, how much do you earn on a monthly basis? Maybe 100,000, maybe 50,000 naira. How much should you save every month for rent? How much should you save every month for food that you are going to eat for that month? How much should you save for transport? There was a place I used to work, and my colleague said that there's no married man that will come and meet him and say, my wife just gave birth yesterday, please help me with hospital bills. He said he's not going to answer the person. And I said, why? He said, because it took the person, either the man or the wife, 9 months to know when their child was going to be born. And for those 9 months, depending on how much salary you have received, you should have factored that in. Same thing for house rent. Your house rent did not become due when your landlord came to meet you. Your house rent became due the month that you paid the house rent. So if your house rent is January, you pay your house rent every January. Your house rent became due January 3rd if you paid January 2nd. And so before the next January comes, you should have enough money saved for house rent. It's not the time you should start sending text messages to mommies and daddies and uncles and aunties. After some time, you say that church self, they know they help person for Egbe church. Because you went to meet pastor and say, Pastor, I need money for house rent. And pastor said that church does not have money. Does church have money? Answer me now, does church have money? You don't want to answer. If you calculate how much tithes that you pay plus offering for a year and check how much diesel they buy for you to be able to watch the story that I'm telling you on the screen, or let the fan just blow you, do you think it will be more than your tithe and offering? That's how rich or how poor a church is. So you can decide that I need to start saving, I need to make investments. Those of us that pay pension or they collect our pension, social security, this one never used to be in Nigeria until Buhari and Tinubu came. And they said that they will give 5,000 naira to some people. So that's their own social security. But the good thing is that they will give you for only 3 months. After 3 months, you are now on your own. That's your social security is for 3 months. Outside Nigeria, they have it year in, year out. There are other entitlements, like your village people. Whether you like it or not, they will ask you for money once they know that you are working. And when you then tell them you don't have, the curses that they will rain on you, even God will just be watching them. There are needs to be met, there are commitments to be made. So Proverbs 13:6 says that a wise man thinks ahead. A fool does not do anything at all. A wise man thinks ahead. So just sit down and ask yourself, where do I think that my money is going to come from? Is it going to come from inheritance? Just ask yourself, your dad, your mom, maybe your grandfather and grandmother, will they leave anything for you as inheritance? If they are not going to leave anything for you, that's number one disadvantage. I know that some of us do bet Naija. And as you are playing it, Chelsea and one team is playing now, I know you have put money. Is that where your money is going to come from? Answer me now. Oh, okay, it's a sin to bet in Foursquare, B. So nobody is doing bet Naija here. Okay, that's good, praise God. I'm happy that none of you have that app on your phone. And as I'm talking, you are checking whether it's green or red. I know some people have it. But do you think that's how you are going to make money? Are you going to make money from your retirement? Are you going to make money from your personal savings? So as I look at these buckets, the major source of money for you is your personal savings. Let me tell you a truth. I have read of people that made millions from lottery. And in 2 years' time, you go and meet them and say, where is the money? There's nothing anymore. Why? Because they did not work for it. Those of us that work hard for our money, when they come and meet you and say, especially your children come and say, Daddy, take us to Mr. Biggs, what do you tell them? Or for those of us that, no, let me not say it because we're inside church. So what are my expenses? Living expenses. If you have elderly parents, you need to put them on your budget. Medical expenses. Those of us that have children, there's university expenses to think about. If you want to go on vacation, you also need to think about it. A wise man will store up food, but a foolish man will consume everything. So ask yourself, how much money do I have or will make? How am I going to spend my money? So these are some of the common mistakes that we make. Number one, some of us, all of us don't learn about investing at all. A lot of us take risk. Too much risk at that. So I'll give you an example. Sorry, I'm hearing a bit of echoing. Let me give you an example. So they tell you that if you invest and save your money, the interest rate is 10%. Abi? You then look at it and somebody comes and says, if you give me that same 100,000 naira now that they said you get 10% in return, if you give it to me, I'll double your money in 10 days. I'll give you 200,000 naira. Which one will you go for? The one that you get 100,000 naira back, Abi? And so many of us have, you give them your money, 10 days, it's working. They say bring 10 people. You then collect 10 of your church members. You go and give them the money. They pay you that after another 10 days. You say, it's working. Oh. You call everybody in your office. Then you now have 30 people under you. They say, pyramid. So what do you then do? I still have 13 minutes, so I'm wondering why you are doing this to me. So can you hear me? Okay, after another 10 days, you then get how much? 400,000 naira. Many of us prefer to invest in those kind of schemes as against investing in maybe a mutual kind of returns you should expect from an investment. If your company, as big as your company is, maybe it's even small, does not increase your salary every month, what kind of investment do you think that you can invest your money in and you expect to get returns that they will double every month? You need to be wise. Many of us are very unrealistic with our financial goals. Many of us. Okay, so I know that I've asked in the next 5 years, where do you want to be? Mentally, some of us have calculated. By then, I would have bought the latest Lexus XRO in the world. Some of you would have calculated, yes, I'll be worth 2 billion naira. But ask yourself, what is the source of that 2 billion naira? Because of our unrealistic expectations and projections about money, that's why you find that 80% of youths today don't have anything that they are thinking about apart from either Yahoo or rituals. Because all of us want to belong to the society. But time is going, so I'll try and I'd like to tell you a story about MC Hammer. How many of us, if you grew up in my generation, you know the man they call MC Hammer? But how many of you youths have heard about MC Hammer? Okay, you may not have heard because you were not born then. You know MC Hammer? Thank you. You know MC Hammer? Okay, so I can tell your generation. Those of us here that don't know MC Hammer, I know it's not because of spirituality. It's just that I did not grow up in our generation. And yes, it's fine. It's not a problem. How many of us know Davido? So it's the same thing. It's generation. Sorry? Yes, correct. MC Hammer, rapper. He used to rap then. So imagine in 1991, MC Hammer in 1 year alone earned $33 million in 1 year. If you convert that today to Nigerian money today, that's like more than 330 million naira. Today, Nigerian money. In 1 year, 33 million naira. But 5 years after he earned in 1 year 33 million naira, MC Hammer became broke. To the extent that he was now owing people $40 million. Let me tell you how he spent his money. MC Hammer had 17 cars. You are shouting, if we give you money now, what do you think you will do? MC Hammer had 17 cars. MC Hammer had a television set that he could watch 27 channels at the same time. So if you looked at it, his eyes were divided into 27 different places. Why? No, but again, look at it. If today, in 1 year, you earn 300 million naira, how will your life be? Be sincere with yourself. Will you still come to Reverend Obende's church? Be sincere with yourself. Will you still come for VG? What will you come to pray for? Grace to do what? Tell me now, grace to do what? More grace to do what now? To make 333 million in another year? More than that. Okay, so just sit down and ask yourself, if you have 333 million naira now, what will you do? Let me tell you one thing that you will do. You know your level will no longer be in Egbe. Where will your level be? Banana Island and Lekki. Let me tell you what you will most likely will do. You will go and buy a property, 140 million naira. How much is left? Less than 200 million naira. You go and buy a car, maybe buy 2, maybe buy 3. You then need police escorts. Because anywhere you are going, we need to know that you have arrived. So at the end of 5 years, MC Hammer, now he had problems with tax, he had problems with lawyers. 5 years after MC Hammer made 33 million naira, people started to sue him. He too started to sue other people. As a matter of fact, they said that MC Hammer's bedroom had a gold-plated, what do they call that thing? Jacuzzi. Gold-plated jacuzzi. Like the water is not going to come from the ground. These are some of the mistakes that people make, and I'm tempted to say that some of us will also make it if we are not careful. There are 3 things, I'm not sure I have time to talk about this when you talk about investing. So, okay, let me talk about in your personal financial journey. There are 3 things you need to be aware of. You need to know yourself. Somebody like MC Hammer now didn't know himself. And I bet to say that a lot of us, 90% of us seated here, do not know ourselves. So let me give you an example, practical example. How many of us have been working for more than 2 years? You've been working for more than 2 years. How many of us have been working for like 5 years? Like 5 years. Don't be shy. I'm not going to use you as guinea pig. I just want to know. It's just an experiment. Nobody has been working for like 5 years here. How many years have you been working? I know, I'm asking you. Okay, so ask yourself, the first month that you received your salary versus last month that you also received salary, is it the same thing that you have received over that last 5 years? Is it the same thing? All the increases that you have received over the years that you have been working, what have you done with them? Oh, you answer me, answer me. So I'm just asking myself, in your own little way, are you different from MC Hammer? In your own little way. So maybe when you started working, your salary was 100,000 naira. 5 years after, let's just assume it is now 250,000 naira. There's a difference of 150,000 naira monthly. So ask yourself, what has happened to that 150,000 naira that you have been earning? Okay, maybe 150,000 naira is too much. Assume 25,000 naira increase monthly since you started to work. What have you done with the 25,000 naira? If you've not done anything with it, you are not different from MC Hammer. You need to know yourself. You also need to know the market. I don't have time. I have like 2 minutes. Okay, let me just see if I can talk to us about some investments. If I can't, any other time, if I have the opportunity to come to talk to us about investing. There are different investment instruments that you can invest in. I like to call them traditional and non-traditional. So let me start with the non-traditional ones, the ones that are not too easy for us to understand. How many of us know cryptocurrency? How many of us have money in cryptocurrency? You have money in cryptocurrency. Ooh, okay. Thank you. You have money in cryptocurrency. Can you just help me adjust this so that I will know what I'm doing? Can you help me adjust this thing so that I will know what I'm doing? Talk to him. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so, yeah, you say you know about cryptocurrency. And I asked, how many of us have money in cryptocurrency? Okay. How many of us understand how cryptocurrency works? You understand it. You understand that it works. You understand that it works. Okay. What are you investing in? When you invest in cryptocurrency, what are you investing in? Talk now. We are not. I'm not a professional. I don't know anything about cryptocurrency. I'm just talking. You invest in cryptocurrency, okay? You invest in crypto. Mona no deny me again now. You invest in cryptocurrency. So when you invest in cryptocurrency, what are you investing in? Sorry? You are investing in different coins. What are those coins? Their names, they are names of platforms that you have invested in. What are they? What are they buying and what are they selling? They are buying and selling the same coin. Okay. What is the investment in that coin? So this is my point. So I said there are traditional and there are non-traditional investment instruments. So non-traditional, most times you cannot see what you are investing in. Most times you do not even know the product that those people are invested in. So that's why I ask people, for example, cryptocurrency, what are they investing in? You say they are investing in coins. What are the coins that are the coins that are the coins that they are investing in? Because for me, before I put my money into any investment, I need to know what that investment is all about. I need to know what that investment is all about. I do not just put my money because every other person is putting their money. Now, I'm not saying that cryptocurrency is a bad investment. I personally did not go into it because I did not understand it. But again, I said there are non-traditional cryptocurrency, FX trading. There are things they call derivatives or contracts. There are instruments that you need to sit down and understand. How many of us buy and trade foreign currencies? You buy dollars, you sell dollars, or they've introduced you to a platform where they buy dollars and sell dollars. Forex trading. I like this guy. You are a very non-traditional man. You know, the pastor that spoke about business ideas said something. When they are sleeping, you are awake. When they are awake, you are what? You are sleeping. When they are trading, what are you doing? You are sleeping. By the time you wake up, market has closed. Abi? At what point do you now put in your trade? And at what point do you remove your trade? Many times, it is better not to try and do it yourself. I think I must have missed that slide. I will still go back to it. But again, I'll talk about traditional forms of investing, money market instruments, mutual funds. How many of us have heard about mutual funds? Let me speak about mutual funds. Today in Nigeria, and anybody in this room that says that they don't have investments, we need to ask pastor to get a cane and flog all of them. With 5,000 naira, you can start investing. 5,000 naira, you can start investing in this Nigeria. All you need to do is invest in mutual funds. But you see, this life about investing starts from saving, which was where I started off when I started to talk about personal financial planning. Everything about investment starts from saving. What is saving? Saving to me is just putting money aside. That money does not grow. So they give you salary 30,000 naira, you spend 25,000 naira, you leave 5,000 naira. That's saving. But if you take that saving, that 5,000 naira, and put it in another instrument, like its own cryptocurrency, or I talked about mutual funds, and that 5,000 naira generates 50,000 naira, that's investing. So it is you allowing your money to work for you, that's investing. If you keep your money aside, that is savings. If you leave your money in savings account and they give you 25 naira, that's savings. It is not investing. But as individuals, we need to move from savings into investing, because it is in investing that you get your financial freedom. And like I said, you can invest in different forms of instruments. The cheapest form of investment that you can invest today in Nigeria is in mutual funds, and it's 5,000 naira. You can find it with FBN Asset Management. You can find it with Stanbic Asset Management. You can find it with AROM. You can find it with Afro Invest. But the point is, there's nobody in this room that should leave this room today without having started a savings plan, or having a savings plan, even if it's just 5,000 naira. So that every month you continue to save that 5,000 naira. If you have plans to write JAMB 10 years time or 5 years time, you can actually buy your form by yourself. If you have plans to go to the university, you can actually take care of yourself in the university if you start a savings plan today. If you have plans to japa, you need to start to save your own money today, so that you will not go and borrow from the banks. And while you are in the UK or Canada or anywhere, you'll be doing 15 jobs in one day because you are owing people back in Nigeria. I'll close by saying that, so there's real estate, there's business interest, there's equities, business interest, you just, so our pastor talked about, I think it's somebody that asked a question, do I start a business, or I have business ideas? And pastor said that you should sell those ideas. Who are they going to sell the ideas to? To you. He has the idea. He's looking for money. He doesn't have money. You have money because you have been saving money consistently. He will come and meet you and say, I have this idea. You look at it and you say, no, I can't invest in it. Can I buy it? You say, okay, buy it. And you buy it and you go and launch it, and you are the millionaire. He's just looking at you, but you have paid him off. You need to be able to save so that when opportunities come, you can take advantage of those opportunities. I'd like to close like this. Please know that rich people also cry. Rich people also cry. If you have substantial amount of money and don't know how to invest them, you would also be among this man that cried. So I'm asking you, develop new skills, acquire new skills, so that both of us can have financial freedom. But like I said, it starts from you saving, and then it moves into investment. At another time, anytime, we will talk more about investing. Thank you.
Praise the Lord. You will agree with me that that was a very wonderful section, and personally, I was blessed, and I also learned a whole lot. So just in a bit to summarize what our speaker has said. So the few points that I noted here was, no one is responsible for your financial situation. So it is not the country, it is not your family, it is not your village people. You are fully responsible for your financial situation. And one of the issues that youths have with finances is low self-esteem. So you have to build up your self-esteem. And the earlier you start to save, the earlier you become financially stable. So you have to start saving now. If you have not started today or this moment is the time to start saving. And the major source of money for you is your personal savings. There is no uncle, there is no auntie that wants to borrow you money. And I'm speaking from experience, and I'm sure that we all have experienced that. So your major source of finances is your own personal savings. And the last thing I noted here is we need to move from savings to really investing. So like our speaker has said, we should look into areas where we can invest our money. It is like planting your money and it will grow. Thank you very much, Mr. Rotimi Obende. So, sir, we have some questions for you. So I would start from here. This person asks that, how can you balance savings with the rate of inflation, considering the dollar is gaining against the naira? Hence, money saved loses its value.
Thank you. How do I balance savings and inflation? I can't balance it unless if I invest. So I said you get 0 rate when you save, but when you invest, you can get 5%, you can get 10%. Inflation is what today? 20%. Abi? Inflation is 20%. Let me tell you the truth. Any investment manager in Nigeria today that gives you a 20% return is a thief. You can't get it. So what can you do? Number 1, start save. Number 2, invest. So why do I invest? It is better for me today in Nigeria to lose 10% than to lose 20%. Let me repeat it again. It is better to lose 10% than to lose 20%. If I do not invest, inflation is 20%. So, for example, my wife was telling me yesterday that a carton of turkey is now 52,000 naira. The last time she bought, maybe like 2 months ago, it was 38,000 naira. And I said to her, you better go and look for money and buy 2 or 3 cartons, because by December, it's going to go to what? 75,000 naira. If I want to start buying and selling turkey today, I will buy and sell and wait for you in December. I put it in the cold room. You will come and buy from me at 75,000 naira. So my point is, inflation will keep going up. If you like, remove Tinubu tomorrow, it will still keep going up. If you like, bring Peter Obi, it will still keep going up. But your personal finances is what matters. You can hedge against it by investing. So I've talked about mutual fund. What you are basically doing is reducing the impact of inflation on your personal finances. Number 2, you need to double the amount that you save. I'll give you an example. I hardly do restaurants unless if it is practically impossible not to do it. It's not because I don't like their food though. I hope you know I like it. But do I have the money? No. As a matter of fact, I prefer Mama Put. Why? I can buy amala 200 naira. I'll buy, they don't even sell their soup. So I can buy gbegiri and ewedu, and I'll buy 2 meats. But I ask myself, but wait too, those of us that buy 6, 7 meats in our food, what are you doing with it? Inflation is 20%, Abi, and you still have 5, 6 meats in your food. And you're asking, are you going to hedge against inflation? That's one way of hedging against inflation. Oga, who are you competing with? If you have 2 meats in your food, if the person is not satisfied with 2 meats in your food, the person will buy for you now. Some of us are Father Christmas. And I know there's nobody here. So those people that used to go to beer parlor, they go to beer parlor, they buy for everybody. The barman, I tell the barman, it's on me, Father Christmas. So if you look at how you spend your money, you then need to start to cut on how you spend your money. I used to say this, it was my former boss that told me. He said that, please, sorry, what's the difference between first class and economy? When you get into a plane, what's the difference between first class and economy? Preferential treatment. Yes, I like that, preferential treatment. When the plane is going to take off, does it go off first with those in the first class? When the plane is going to land, does it take permission from the first class people to land first? So the comfort you are paying for most likely is about an hour. Okay, if you are doing international flights, you probably would then do 10 hours. But ask yourself, must you fly first class? Okay, let me bring it down to maybe our level. There are boutiques and there are boutiques. There are different sizes and shapes of boutiques. There are some of us in this place, you have clothes that you have not worn in the last 3 months, but it has not stopped you from buying. In this Tinubu economy, you are still buying clothes. Okay, let me talk shoes. Some of us is not clothes. Some of us is shoes. Your shoes are lined up. Okay, maybe it's not shoes. Wristwatches. How many of us use iPhone in this place? Don't hide. Oh yeah, all of you bring out your phones. What is the difference between iPhone, Samsung, and Tecno? Or even, what's the name of that other phone? Redmi. What's the difference? Packaging. God bless you. Speed. Speed is internet. No, speed is internet. Camera. How many of you are professional photographers with your phone? You are professional with your phone. You are a professional photographer with your phone. No, he raised up his hand. So, those of you using iPhone and you are not professional cameras, why are you using iPhone? Oh, sorry, if you work for Apple, I apologize. I am sorry. But then ask yourself, some of us change our phones every year. Why? No, it's not Yahoo boy, leave that thing. Okay, let me even talk to our mommies that have children. Mommies that have children. You are disturbing Oga. They say, it's the children that you gave to me that spoil my phone. Why will you allow your children to spoil your phone when you know that it's Oga that will still bring the money later? He said, hey, he cannot play unless he own my phone. He will own your phone, he will hit it, baga. Phone is dead. Oga will go and buy another one. They hit it again, baga. And you know the truth, the phone that you bought. So I was looking at phones and looking at the prices of phones. There's one phone that I like. It's Flip, Samsung Flip, not Fold. Yeah, the one they open like this. I like that phone. I like that phone. In fact, I love the phone like this. And that phone, last month, that phone was 450,000 naira. This month is 562,000. I will still buy that phone though. But I will buy that phone when I know that I have settled all the people I need to settle, including village people. But my point is, this phone that you are carrying when you are not a businessman, why are you using it?
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. So another question here is, please, sir, do you know about bamboo and rice investments? If yes, can you shed more light? Bamboo and rice investments. Yes, rice, R-I-S-E, rice investments.
You are the one that asked the question. I don't know anything about bamboo. I don't know anything about rice. No, tell us now. I said I don't know. It's not a problem. I don't know. Tell me.
Okay. So there are investment platforms. Bamboo, you buy foreign stocks on them. Rice Vest, you also do the same thing on them. So there are trading platforms.
Thank you. There are trading platforms. It's not different from, remind me a trading platform in Nigeria. That one you used to put your money, cowrie-wise. Piggyvest. They are just trading platforms. They are trading platforms. Do I use them? I don't. Why don't I use them? Fear they catch me. I will soon retire. I cannot lose my money. I will soon retire. I cannot lose my money. So what do I do with my money? Safe, conservative investments. Those of you that are young, 20, 30, you can take all the risk in this world. You are still young. When you marry, you realize that you can't take as much risk as you used to take when you, so guys, those of us that are not married, whether men or man, woman, boy, girl, youths, adults, you are not married, you are free to take all the risk you want to take now. Take all the risk. You can buy cryptocurrency from now till next year. Because once you marry, your wife will call you. Say, Oga, come. I am now your responsibility. Those things you used to do, you cannot do them again. You now born pikin. Your desire for risk starts to reduce. Your appetite for risk starts to reduce. So, for me, because I will soon retire, I tell myself that once I cannot sleep very well in the night, not the one I will be sleeping, I think it's God that is giving me vision. No, I'm thinking of where my money is. I will not put my money there. Once I cannot sleep very well, I will not put my money. So I put my money in the things that I understand. Yes, so for foreign platforms, those of us that are interested in buying stocks, Amazon stock, Facebook stocks, Twitter stocks, yes, you can use verified, listen to me, verified platforms. Check their history. How long have they been in existence? Some of us are very lazy. You know why I say some of us are very lazy? They said that. All the saying that they said before it gets to you is diluted. But it's that one they told you that you are depending on. If I do a test, for example, and I tell this guy something, maybe I tell him, I'm married. I say, tell him, I'm married. Before he gets there, that man will tell me something else. Before he gets here, you are beginning to call my wife's name. Meanwhile, what I told him had nothing to do with my wife. That's the way some of us receive information. You never learn things by yourself. So go and learn about those platforms. You have phones for a purpose. It is not to take selfie. You bend leg like this and you take selfie. That is not the purpose of your phone. The purpose of your phone is to do research. Search bamboo, history of bamboo. Who are the owners of bamboo? Have they done any business before? Before you carry your money to go and put. Even First Bank, check it. Don't do them, say you have phone for a purpose. I hope you will allow me to go home today.
All right, so thank you. Okay, this person asked, do you advise converting Naira to dollar and saving in dollars?
Yes, if you have a plan and if you have a purpose. Okay, so some of us are in Nigeria. We are not going anywhere. How many of us are like that? You are in Nigeria, you are not going anywhere. 2 of us. Who else is in that category? You know, my problem with many of us is that when pastor come and say, let's pray for Nigeria, that Nigeria will be great tomorrow. It's only the 2 of us that pray for Nigeria. The rest of you don't pray for Nigeria. So if I have no plans, personally, this is me talking, I have no plans to go abroad. I also have no plans to send my children to school abroad. I think I do not need dollar savings. But once you have conceived that plan to go abroad for whatever reasons, whether it's to Japa or relocate. I hope you know there's a difference between Japa and relocating. Japa, they don't come back. Relocating, they can come back. If you have plans for any of those two, you then need to start to convert some of your naira to dollars. But have a plan, have a system for doing that. Now, this is what I'm going to say to you. Because you have a long-term plan, you can buy dollar today for 1,300 naira. If it goes to 1,000 naira tomorrow, will you be crying? Will you cry? If you say you will cry, can I see your hand up? Why are you going to cry? Are you losing any money if dollar becomes 1,000 naira? Eh? What have you lost? You have lost 3. So that means you are not saving. You want to be selling dollars. Are you aboki? If dollar is coming down, I think you should be happy because you can then buy more dollars. If you have 10,000 naira and a dollar is 1,000 naira to a dollar, you have 100,000 naira. You can only buy $10,000. If it goes to 2,000 naira to a dollar, how many can you buy? $5,000. So if dollar is coming down, you should be happy. But you must have a plan. And my reason for saying that is because if your purpose is to relocate or japa, you need, I believe, and this is me, you need your own money, not other people's money to travel. Because you have peace of mind. You can decide there's only one job you want to do. You can send people your house address when you are abroad. You can send them WhatsApp messages, not the ones you will block them once you enter plane. No. So you need to have a plan, and you need to systematically follow that plan. So if you say that you are converting 20% of your salary to dollars, make sure after you have paid your tithe, let that be the second thing that you will do. You know the truth, eh? Your money will never be enough. I'll round up so you can ask. Your money will never be enough. I'll tell you why. If you are earning 20,000 naira today and you pay tithe of 10%, how much do you have left? 18,000 naira. That 18,000 naira will finish. If your money increases to 30,000 naira, you pay tithe 3,000 naira, you now have 27,000 naira. That 27,000 naira will also finish. Unless you have a system that enables you to save and invest that money before it comes to you. Let me tell you the reason why government takes taxes from you before it enters your account. They know you will not pay them. So they will first collect it. Find a system where you convert that money to dollars before you can touch the balance. That is the only time you can achieve your goals.
Thanks so much, sir. We are learning a lot. So another question here is gold also an investment? Is gold also an investment?
It is not, and it is. How many of us are wearing gold? Tell them.
Original gold, not plated.
He said I should ask you, how many of you are wearing original gold? Okay, nobody. How many of you are wearing plated gold? Nobody. How many of you are wearing silver? Nobody. If you buy gold for fashion, it is not investment. If you buy gold to wear it, it is not investment. If you buy gold to sell, it's investment. So that's why I said that yes, it's an investment. No, it is not an investment. And it's the same thing with your phone. If you buy a phone because you want to use that phone to make money, it's an investment. But if you buy a phone because every other person is buying a phone, it's not an investment. But wait, too, I'm not saying you should not buy a phone, no. Don't mind me. I have phone.
Okay, so thank you very much. All right. Okay, you've already touched one of these questions. What age do you think a youth should start planning for retirement? But this second part now is where we'll need your insight. And writing a will.
At what age should you write a will? That's a different conversation. Abi, a different conversation. If you call me next Saturday to come and talk about will, I will come, because I am very passionate about that one. But when should you write a will? I think that the first time you should write a will, I think, is when you start working. When you start working is the first time you should write a will. Why have I said so? Your will is what empowers people to know what to do with your assets. So somebody will say, if I start working at 25, what have I acquired? I have seen people fight over 20,000 naira in Nigeria. Their dad passed on. He didn't have ATM card, and they came and said, how will they access the money in their father's account? It goes through a process called probate. See, this one is a long conversation. So people need to know what they should do with your assets. So if you are working, they've already started taking pension, Abi. Who do you want to inherit that pension? You have bought a car. Who do you want to inherit that car? I wanted to say, is it your wife, or your mother, or your girlfriend, or your boyfriend? No, sorry, I apologize. This is a church. There's no boyfriend or girlfriend. I did not say that. Let me go back again. Who do you want to inherit your car? Your father or mother, younger brothers or younger sisters, your fiancé or fiancé. You need to decide. If you have a land that you have bought and nobody knows, please go and write a will and put that land inside the will. Don't show anybody. So that the day you go to the other side, not that I did not say you will die, the day you go to the other side, people will know that you had a land, and you have then decided how that land should be distributed amongst all your family members, including your village people. So please, I believe that the first time you should consider writing a will is when you start to work. The mistake that we make is that when you fill a form in your office, they ask you next of kin. Next of kin is not the person that will get the money. The person that will get the money are called beneficiaries. And they are the only people that you have listed in your will. But it's a long conversation for another day.
So the last question here is, can the fact that a parent or parents impose career on children affect their financial life in the future?
This one is career talk, Abi, which is another conversation for another day. Okay, so when I was growing up, they asked me, what did you want to be? I didn't know, so I went to science class. When I was going to write JAM, I failed medicine. I failed JAM. I tried again. I failed JAM. So you know the story now, so I have no idea. So I shifted to pharmacy. I wrote JAM again. I failed it. So one day, myself and my dad were in the farm. We were just walking, and he said, why not read accounting? So I went, changed my course to accounting. And I wrote accounting, and I had 2 admissions, same year. So I started one admission. When the other one came, I abandoned the admission without telling anybody. I went to the other one. Is that a career imposition? Some years later, I started talking with my dad. He said, you are just a lazy man. Because I mentioned accounting, you went to write accounting and you passed that. But 15 years down the line, if not more, I read accounting. I managed to graduate. I managed to write ICANN. I managed to pass. 10 years after, they managed and they gave me FCA, which is the highest degree you can become as a chartered accountant. Nobody has asked me how many times did you write ICANN after that, but I wrote it plenty times. Does it change anything? My point is, even if your parents impose a career on you, it should not define your life. Mine was not imposed on me. Mine, I think, was divinely, as Christians now, Holy Spirit spoke to my dad spoke to me. And so, but you know the funny thing, as I speak to you now, I no longer talk about investments. I no longer talk about accounting. I no longer do accounting. That's why I said to David that I talk about wills and trusts and estate planning. I am not a lawyer. But I can tell you about wills. I can tell you about trust. Sorry, if you are a lawyer, I think I can do it better than you. I know one lawyer in this place, so I don't want him to hear. I can do it better than a lawyer would do it. But I didn't read law. I read accounting. But my career has changed and has progressed from being an ordinary accountant. I apologize if you read accounting. From being an ordinary accountant to being a financial analyst to being a strategy person to now be a private trust advisor. So what do I do? Each day I go to work, what do? I tell people, sir, before you go to the other side, arrange your affairs. Who do you want to get what? All the assets that you have acquired. The money you have in the bank, who do you want to collect it? That is what I do now. Private trust, estate planning. Don't let family members fight over your assets. I advise people, I beg people. Is it defining who I am? Is it impacting my career? My career is helping me because when you talk money, I understand money, but not on an active basis. So, even if we impose a career on you, which I do not advise parents to do that. But I also know, just in closing, that many times our parents do it out of fear and out of a place of safety. When I was growing up, there were only 3 or 4 careers that our parents wanted us to do. You either do medicine, or do engineering, or do law, or do accounting. Is there any other one? Is there any other one? No other one now. Either law, accounting, medicine, pharmacy, or engineering. Nothing else. But it was from a place, okay, maybe computer science. It was from a place of fear. Look at it today in Nigeria. And let's be sincere. This has nothing to do with the grace of God that we pray for every Friday, Abi, like you said to me. You said you will pray for grace, Nabi. And it is not to bring down any profession. It is not to bring down any career. And so I apologize ahead if I use your career as an example. It is not because I hate you. I am speaking as a Nigerian, and I'm trying to speak realistically. If you study Yoruba today, please tell me where you think you can work. Realistically. Church, school, embassy. If you study French, realistically speaking, where will you work? Embassy. How many embassies do we have in this country? No, now, please talk to me. Yes. So the point I'm driving at is, it's good to study whatever comes to your mind. I have a daughter that we fought over what she said she wanted to study. I gave up. But she started saying it when she was in GSS, not SSS, not SSS, senior secondary school, SSS, in GSS. That's what she said she wanted to study. She wrote WAEC, wrote JAM once. She was filling her form and she filled it. So one of our uncles, when he heard that she got admission to study, study psychology, he said, I thought they gave her the course. I said, no. She woke up one morning and said, I want to be a psychologist. So the question I asked you now was the same question I asked. Where are you going to work? But we fought and fought and fought. So I left her so that you people will not come and ask me this question. Why did you impose the course on her? I left her. She just started. She says she's enjoying it. But my point is, realistically speaking, you need to see the opportunities. So our uncle, my in-law, was now telling me that, see, there's money in it. I said, okay, don't tell me. I will put her on a call one day. You will talk to her because me, I can't see. You can see. So you talk to her. Same thing with one of my sons. He's been saying it since GSS now. He wants to become a neurosurgeon. I'm happy. Abi? So whatever career you choose, first and foremost, ask yourself, 5 years' time, what do you want to become? Pursue it. Actively pursue it. If you want to become a musician, you know those days, our parents used to flog us if you say you want to become a footballer. These days, they buy football for you. Things can change. We can start to beg people that want to read anything. There's money. Somebody said if you read, you go and work in the embassy. Start to actively ask people, how do I get an embassy job now? Before you finish, ask yourself, how do I get an embassy job? If you want to work as a linguist outside the country, start to look for how you can quickly get visa. Look at the country you want to go to. Check them out. Those countries, they have states that require your services. I'll close here. In Nigeria today, a lot of people that are japa, they go and be doing caregiver jobs. Some go to wash dead bodies that they don't do in Nigeria. Some security men, some gate men, they never asked themselves questions before they left. Please ask yourself questions before you decide on anything. Thank you.